What's up folks, welcome back to the channel, where today we will discuss the best Nikon mirrorless camera on the market. We can jump straight into the video without wasting any time. Do check out the description for more info and its pricing. The Nikon Z7 is the company's most well-rounded camera to date. It's a well-spec'd and suited for video capture as it is for stills, and the quality of both is fantastic. The Z7's design gives an experience that will be familiar to existing Nikon DSLR shooters, but in a scantier, lighter body built around the all-new Nikon Z-mount. The high-resolution FX format camera from Nikon introduces the Z-mount, a large diameter form with a short 16mm flange distance that allows Nikon to produce compact yet powerful cameras and develops more superior optics. The Z7 is among the prime in the series and brings with it a 45.7MP BSI CMOS sensor and EXPEED 6-image processing engine, presenting outstanding image quality and speed with a natural sensitivity range of ISO 64 to 25,600. On the sensor, you will see an advanced phase detect autofocus mode using 493 points covering 90% of the image area, and the sensor stars 5-axis vibration reduction technology for stabilized images and video, regardless of the lenses utilized. This advanced hybrid AF system will also help video. The Z7 highlights UHD 4K recording at up to 30p and can utilize the in-log gamma profile along with the camera's 10-bit HDMI output to generate cinema-quality video. The camera's high-resolution sensor also allows the use of an 8K time-lapse mode. The Z7 II is Nikon's flagship full-frame mirrorless camera. All the differences we've noticed on the Z7 II compared to the original Z7 are undoubtedly welcome. Still, we can't help feeling that Nikon played it a bit safe. We'd love to have seen even more of a stretch to make it a grave peril, to the likes of the Canon EOS R5 and Alpha A7 R4. It might seem to be a relatively subtle refresh of the original Z7. Still, the advances that have been made, such as the second card slot, the option to attach vertical control grip, and boosted AF performance, will all enhance its appeal to the kind of photographers it's directed at. We were surprised by how polished Nikon's first generation of full-frame mirrorless cameras were. Hence, it's no surprise that the Z7 II works well. It's responsive in its work, and though we'd love to see the reintroduction of Nikon's combined AF switch, AF mode button, gives an experience that Nikon DSLR users will instantly feel at home with. There's a reasonable degree of customization without it being necessary to program its operation altogether. You now get 4K 60p video recording, also 10 frames per second shooting, and a buffer that clears more quickly. The Nikon Z system is also increased at a rapid pace, with several lenses and accessories available, making it a much more engaging overall ecosystem than when the original Z7 launched. The Nikon Z6 II is a slight refresh of the original Z6, with a second memory card slot and processor making a bump to burst shooting, now up to 14 frames per second, and the capability to record 4K video at 60 frames per second. Nevertheless, the camera still lacks an articulating screen, limiting its appeal for video and vlogging. Coming to hardware, the principal difference is that the Mark II gains a second EXPEED 6 processor, with most of the performance and highlight improvements stemming from this extra processing power. Nikon states that the autofocus performance has been incrementally enhanced over the original Z6. Still, the most notable trait change is the addition of face and eye detection, both human and animal, to the wide area AF mode. The variants of wide area AF with human and animal face and eye AF have been added to the list of AF modes accessible on the quick menu, implying you don't have to engage those functions separately. Nikon's focusing system now operates in light as low as -4.5 EV when using an f/2.0 or faster lens. The Z6 II's maximum burst speed tops out at an extraordinary 14 frames per second. The body and handling of the Z6 II are the same as its forerunner, which means it remains a solidly built camera with a pleasant grip. The weather-sealed body is primarily created from magnesium alloy, giving a good balance of weight and solidity. The Nikon Z-FC is, without a doubt, the coolest looking camera on the list. It's a retro-style mirrorless camera with dial-based controls, and it's a delight to handle, to use, and to be seen using. Inside, it's basically the same deal as the Nikon Z50, with the same APS-C sensor and processor, and several of the same specs. It sports a 20.9 MP CMOS sensor, which matches with EXPEED 6 image processing to achieve quick shooting performance up to 11 frames per second, UHD 4K video recording at 30p, and sensitivity up to ISO 51200. Notwithstanding its classic look, this camera is renewed for contemporary content creation and highlights a fully articulating touchscreen LCD, supplies live streaming, is cooperative with external microphones, and has an advanced 209.AF system with full-time subject tracking and eye detection AF. Concentrating on the physical design, the ZFC stands out as clear evidence of Nikon's classic SLR film camera heritage and highlights several familiar physical controls on the body, including dedicated dials to adjust ISO, shutter speed, and exposure compensation. A few extra characteristics, like a built-in flash, have been shaved off, and it is a little more costly than the Z50. So if you don't care about aesthetics, then Nikon's other DX format camera is the most intelligent choice. But if you're the sort of person who can't withstand the siren song of the best retro cameras, the Nikon FC will be right up your alley. The Nikon Z5 is the most suitable entry-level full-frame mirrorless camera you can purchase right now, although it depends a little on how you describe entry-level. On the spec sheet, there are lots that appeal. The large 24MP full-frame sensor produces lovely pictures in well-lit situations, with the big, bright EVF and 3-inch tilt-angle touchscreen make composing shots a joy. The 273-point autofocus is also effective, coping well with both static and moving objects, and the camera itself is delightful to shoot with, giving a large, comfy grip and an excellent control layout. It's built around a stabilized non-BSI 24MP CMOS sensor, which is likely more closely related to the chip generation found in Nikon's D750 DSLR, rather than the newer BSI sensor in the Z6. Slightly stripped down and more stills focused, the Z5 shares the same 273-point hybrid AF system, EXPEED 6 processor, and 3.69 m.dot OLED viewfinder as the Z6, but niceties like a top plate display are absent. Likewise, the Z5's max burst rate and video capabilities are considerably less than the Z6, 4.5 frames per second versus 12 frames per second, and heavily cropped 4K versus uncropped oversampled 4K. But from an image quality and handling standpoint, the two cameras are pretty similar. The 4.5 frames per second burst shooting speed is less impressive, while a tight 1.7 times sensor crop on 4K footage limits its use as a videography tool. Still, it should tick pretty much all the boxes for those new to the genre or Nikon fans after a second body.
Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, then hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if you loved it. Take a moment to hit the bell icon so you'll get notified of all our latest uploads.